Do you know what your pets are doing?
Welcome, my dogs!
Welcome
How you been, old timer? Paralyzed. Great.
Welcome to my house.
I'm home, Leonard. Were you a good boy?
The Secret Life of Pets, rated PG.
What are my pets doing at 9 a.m. in the morning? Well, if you're my dog, you're waking me up by barking because I won't let you up on the bed. Hey, I've been up since 4 a.m. trying to do this website stuff here, man. Let me sleep, for God's sakes. I mean, come on. Come on. But, no, in all seriousness, I do love my pets. I love my dog and my cats, so. Welcome to Time About the Movies, everybody. It's July 8th, 2016, and we've got two really good movies to take a look at this week. Starting off with our first film, The Secret Life of Pets, which pretty much takes a Toy Story-esque type of storyline here. Just replace the toys with your animals. As it takes place in a Manhattan apartment building where a dog named Max, played by Louis C.K., has his life as a favorite pet turned upside down when his owner brings home a sloppy mongrel named Duke, played by Eric Stonestreet. They have to put their quarrels behind them when they find out that an adorable white bunny named Snowball, voiced by Kevin Hart, is building an army of lost pets determined to take revenge. That's at least what the thread of the plot of this movie is, but even in this movie, the story overall gets a little bit complicated, and even Snowball himself's not really a villain per se. I mean, he really is somebody who's not really an antagonist, more like a what's the word to kind of describe him? He's not really a villain. He's kind of more of a best friend of me. Let's call it that way. I'll explain more in just a little bit here, but yeah, when it comes to Illumination Entertainment, they have not had the strongest track record. In fact, most of their movies have not been that great up to this point. Even by today's standards, they are still very few and far between in terms of their great films overall. But this one really is probably one of my favorite movies from them overall. I mean, this movie really does deliver on all the promises that it had from the trailers early on. The trailers were legitimately really funny, like that bit with the dog with the classical music, and then when the owners are away, they start playing rock and roll music, and it's like banging their heads like, and they got all the other animals around them. Like, that's great stuff. It's a good movie. I had a good time watching this movie. You can definitely tell the studio finally started to get off some ground of what their movies want to be. Entertainingly funny, nicely animated, filled with over-the-top comedy, and the movie definitely has a lot of that and then some. Let's touch on those negatives, though, because I only had a few major complaints overall, and really, like I said before, the biggest complaint that I kept hearing about this movie was that the story structure for this was very much the same story structure as Toy Story, almost to the point of ripping it off. And yeah, it does rip off Toy Story, but at the same time, so what? I mean, really, what animated movie hasn't ripped off the structure of Toy Story? For those who don't know what the structure of Toy Story is, if you haven't seen it, which by this point, what the hell's wrong with you? It's been 30 years, man. It's where you have a character who's loyal to their friends, somebody new enters the picture, creating turmoil for that character, they fight for ownership of their territory, they get put into a situation where they're forced to be together, and over the course of the film, they eventually realize that they are more than like than you think, and by the end of the movie, in a big final act, they become the best of friends. We've seen so many movies do that at this point. And yeah, at this point, it doesn't take away my focus from the full film in general, but there are definitely points where they do try to add a little bit more to the story to just add a runtime. Like, there's a subplot in this movie about Duke's former owner, and they reveal the situations at hand. You can easily pinpoint what's going to happen next, or what the outcome is going to be. It's nothing but a filler subplot, because it does not really serve a purpose to the movie itself. It's just there to extend the runtime to 90 minutes. I mean, it's only a 90-minute movie, not even including the minion short at the beginning of the film. I mean, an hour-and-a-half movie, you should be able to get more out of it than just what they're trying to do here. And like I said, those are more of the negative points I have on the film, mostly just nitpicky things in general. But let's get to the positives. First off, the characters are very likable and enjoyable. There was not one character in this movie I didn't love. They were all written very well. They were performed very well by an extremely well-casted voice cast. I mean, next to Jungle Book, this probably had one of the best casts of the year, honestly. You know, Louis C.K. was great as Max, and of course, we obviously know why they opted him out for Patton Oswalt in the next movie, which Patton Oswalt was fine, but replacing Patton Oswalt with Louis C.K., those two have very different voices, and yeah, in the sequel, it is definitely noticeable that does not sound like the same person as Max. I mean, you could have at least gotten somebody who sounds close to Louis C.K. I don't really know who you'd probably get. Maybe H. John Benjamin, probably the closest one I could think of, but even then, it's not really a great one, but Louis C.K. and Patton Oswalt clearly are two different types of voice actors, and that's one of those rare ones where it's just kind of like, not a great decision for them for the sequel, but overall, it's still a good casting in this movie. So is Eric Stonestreet as Duke. Kevin Hart, I thought, was really funny as Snowball. He was such a fun character overall, and you could just tell Kevin Hart was just having the time of his life playing this character. I like Jenny Slate as Gidget. Albert Brooks is great as what was he, like a bald? He was like a bald eagle, like, it's not even an eagle, just an eagle in general, Tiberius, who kind of was mixing two of his characters from The Simpsons, Hank Scorpio and Russ Cargill, into his performance. I thought worked very well. Lake Bell got some real good laughs as Chloe, so did Hannibal Buress as Buddy, Bobby Moynihan as Mel, Dana Carvey, which I'm glad to see he was making a comeback, because he needed this after Masters of Disguise 14 years ago. He's really good as Pops. He actually does have the best lines in this and the second film. I mean, he's the only one, out of all the lines I would have expected from a Secret Life of Pets movie, I would never thought I would hear the words, "Pops is pissed" in the second movie, because that's what he says in film 2. I guess it's okay to say pissed in a PG family film, I guess, but... in addition, you got Ellie Kemper, I'm getting my names mixed up here, Ellie Kemper from The Office, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Steve Coogan in the cast. They're pretty good, too. The animation overall is fantastic. Illumination does a great job of making New York City look as impressive as it does, but also experiments in making these animals look as fluffy as they do, insert your obvious Despicable Me, "It's so fluffy, I want to die," like that reference there, but you could definitely notice a lot more detail being put into the fur in each of these animals in this, kind of in the same level that Zootopia did, and also Sony with Angry Birds earlier in the summer did that too. It just goes to show how far animation has come and how far this company has gone over the years, and the comedy overall is really good. There's a lot of laugh-out-loud moments throughout the course of this film. The movie even manages to make poop jokes get a good hard laugh, and those jokes usually got poison in the comedy. They usually go to the lowest common denominator, but here they managed to make it funny. There's even one part of this movie that is so, what the hell is even going on, where, Duke and, Max, they go to this factory, which is nothing but hot dogs, and they get high on hot dogs, and all of a sudden you start hearing them these hot dogs singing "We Go Together" from Grease. It is one of the most bizarre what the hell is happening moments, but at the same time, it's very well done, and that really is part of the fun of this movie, man. I mean, this film, yeah, it steps a little far into Toy Story territory, but as long as you can still get good laughs and good entertainment value out of it, it's not a big deal at all. And this movie delivered on everything else with that. The voice work, the great characters, the animation, the comedy, it just all comes together very nicely to make this the best movie Illumination has put up to this date. Still one of my favorite ones overall. I mean, they've had there's been a couple good ones since then. We'll have another good one at the end of the year, which is one of those big surprises nobody really saw coming. Then, of course, we had The Grinch, and then Super Mario Brothers, Migration. So they do get better, but they're still very hit and miss overall. But this one definitely lived up to the expectations that I had early on with those trailers. They did a great job of delivering the hype. Secret Life of Pets turned out to be a really good movie in the process, so there you go. That's The Secret Life of Pets. So let's go ahead and move on to the other big winner this week. Zac Efron and Aubrey Plaza in a good R-rated comedy in 2016, not named Dirty Grandpa. Actually, this is Zac Efron's second good R-rated comedy after Neighbors 2, also starring Adam Devine and Anna Kendrick. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Mom and Dad, what's going on here? Over the years at our family gatherings, you two show up and you ruin it. I want you to bring a date to your sister's wedding. We don't want you showing up stag and riling each other up. We don't rile each other up. We never get riled up.
We'll shape up for you, Jeannie. We gotta find the right girls for this. Where do we even go?
What? We're about to do something awesome.
I'm here with Mike and Dave Stengel. They are looking for dates for their sister's wedding in Hawaii.
Let's make these guys take us to Hawaii.
We're looking for nice girls.
We're gonna look respectable as fuck.
They're leaving. It's all part of the plan.
Are you okay?
I am now.
I saved your life! She's okay? I saved your life!
Yeah.
Grandma, meet Alice. She's super smart.
Tatiana, she's a school teacher.
The key to teaching children is repetition. You'd be surprised how stupid they are. Let's play bocce.
Should we take it easy on them?
Absolutely not. We should let them lose with dignity, which is what I'd like to think we would do.
Tatiana, we've got cockbusters.
That sounds like you guys are like watching porno or...
No. They have The Rodfather. I don't know if we're gonna get it though, if we haven't seen The Godfather.
Get it all in, I'm a freak little bitch.
Who are these girls?
This is me making us look cool.
Oh my gosh, it's Superman!
Your turn, Mike!
Don't ever do that.
I could do anything that they could do.
Is it okay?
Wow! She looks like burn victim Barbie. And you're Black Ken.
Throw it down. Down.
I absolutely love the hell out of this movie, and sadly, in the 10 years since it's come out, it's been largely forgotten, and it's one of those ones where it's just like, I mean, we need more raunchy comedies like this, man. So you have delinquent brothers, Michael and David, played by Adam Devine and Zac Efron, frequently ruining family events with their dangerous antics. In order to prevent them from ruining their sister's upcoming wedding in Hawaii, their parents mandate that they attend the wedding with dates. Their appearance on the Wendy Williams show to advertise themselves catches the attention of Tatiana and Alice, played by Aubrey Plaza and Anna Kendrick. Though, let's be honest, going on Wendy Williams is probably not the direction you want to go to get the nicest girls out there. I mean, have you seen the audience that watched the Wendy Williams show back then? Like, after pretending to be civilized and respectable, Tatiana and Alice secure Mike and Dave as their respective dates. However, when they get to Hawaii, Mike and Dave find that their dates are much more wild and unhinged than they anticipated. And again, what's funny about this movie is that is that it did everything right, and I think a film like Dirty Grandpa did so wrong. But on top of that, surprisingly enough, this is actually based on a true story in which two brothers actually put out an ad for dates to their sister's wedding. So you think that this kind of screwball comedy premise would make for a good funny screwball romantic comedy, and it actually does. I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed this movie. We don't get a whole lot of good R-rated comedies that are actually funny. Every once in a while, you know, this summer alone has been the big difference maker because we had Neighbors 2 earlier in the summer. But before this, it was mostly just stuff like Vacation, Dirty Grandpa, Horrible Bosses 2. R-rated comedies that fail to be both raunchy and funny, but this one works on both levels. The pairing of Zac Efron and Adam Devine, as well as Anna Kendrick and Aubrey Plaza, is pitch perfect. No pun intended, because, of course, Devine and Plaza were both in the Pitch Perfect movies, but you could definitely buy into the chemistries together as well as the romantic counterparts. The relationships in this movie are real and authentic. It's like if you met these people in real life, this is what they would be like overall, and I gotta say, thank God somebody put Aubrey Plaza in an R-rated comedy that actually shows your capabilities in an R-rated comedy after The To-Do List, and especially after Dirty Grandpa. Plaza, who's more than proven her comedy worth over the years, finally gets a chance to actually be funny in this and look amazingly sexy in this, as does Anna Kendrick. But, you know, Anna Kendrick actually gets a chance to be funny after a couple of failed R-rated comedies of her own. The comedy in the movie is really strong. It doesn't go for the typical lame, raunchy humor or cheap attempts at shock humor like a couple of other comedies that came out this year, and even one by 20th Century Fox that we'll get to at the end of the year, which, yeah, that's an example of using that type of raunchy humor and failing miserably at it. There is a lot of good, legitimately funny, raunchy moments in this movie. There are some complaints I have towards it, mostly the fact that they do tend to do more of these lame rom-com cliches, such as you gotta have the liar revealed and having the couples go to their corners until they have the realization that they were meant to be together and they really do love each other. I know we have to put it in there, but can it please be something where it actually works around these cliches better? I mean, for God's sakes, just make it a short scene. Like, don't make it 10 minutes of the third act just because you're too lazy to actually come up with better material than this. But on top of that, you have an R-rated comedy, and you have two really sexy ladies in Aubrey Plaza and Anna Kendrick in here, and yet you can't get them to get naked even once in this. I mean, I know I would have been 27 when this came out. That's my late 20s mentality here. I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal, but they literally cock-tease the audience into thinking that they're going to get naked for a little bit. You even see a little bit in the trailer there, the possible censorship of maybe some maybe them being nude and like they're wearing like CG, like underwear that was placed on CG or like clothing that was placed on in CG, and that never happens in this movie. They do it with both Aubrey Plaza and Asana and Anna Kendrick towards the end, and she's hiding underneath a horse. I mean, I'll gladly take a second of it, but don't cock tease me like that. I mean, I'm a man, I can handle it. And by the way, to all the ladies out there, I just want to make it clear that I am not in any way sexist. I'm just trying to make a point that if you're going to have two very sexy actresses in the lead of an R-rated comedy, it's not going to kill you to show some skin, even for a brief second, which probably makes me even more sexist, but hey, that was my thinking back then, for God's sakes. But the last problem I do have with the movie, though, is that the groom doesn't really get much to do in this movie. I thought it would have been cool of them to make the couple get married. I mean, it's cool that they made the couple getting married interracial. I mean, it's fine, because you put a good comedic actor like Sam Richardson, who was on Veep as Richard Splett. He's really good, but kind of like what happened in Bridesmaids, the movie doesn't really focus on the person the bride is marrying all that much. But unlike Bridesmaids, where they don't even mention the groom nor his name, Richardson does get a couple of good lines of dialogue, but it's early on in the movie, and he's just reacting to stuff happening. Like that scene there we just saw, we just like, you could be the Black Ken. He's just like, I mean, it's not until the very end of the movie where we finally get more than a couple of lines from him, but even then, his character is not really fully developed as well as everybody else's. I really felt like there was a wasted opportunity with him being in there, but nevertheless, it's definitely a vast improvement over some of the really bad R-rated comedies we had gotten over the last couple of years. There's a lot of good laughs in here. The cast overall is excellent. It's a good, fun, enjoyable summer comedy, and if you're looking for some good, raunchy laughs, it's definitely a movie to check out. It's a very good film. Again, it was a hit when it came out, but it hasn't really found that audience since then. In fact, most people have largely forgotten about it overall, and it just kind of sucks because, yeah, we miss these type of R-rated comedies. They tried to bring it back a couple years ago with No Hard Feelings, which was a really good movie, but nobody's really tried to really match that since then. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of movies that we've had since then, but nothing that really holds out as memorable as far as I remember. But I'd have to double check on that, but Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates is a very, very good film. It's a very fun, raunchy comedy. One I recommend checking out if you miss these good, old-fashioned R-rated comedies. Seriously, we need more of these, man. We need more of these. And I'm not talking about Scary Movie. I mean actually funny, raunchy comedies that are just not, that are actually trying. Not like that piece of garbage that's coming out this summer. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies. And the next time we meet, this might not be a fun one for some people, but next week on the show, we head into the middle part of July, and the biggest new release is the controversial Ghostbusters reboot featuring an all-female cast that includes Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, directed by Paul Feig. I never had a problem with this movie coming out, and I really don't think the movie is as bad as people make it out to be. Is it the least enjoyable of the Ghostbusters movies? Yeah, maybe, but then again, it's not a terrible movie by any means necessary. And I know some people aren't going to like that, but I would like to think that 10 years after this movie's come out, the mood has changed on this, but who knows? I could be completely wrong on that, but we will touch on that tomorrow on the show, but we will also take a look at Bryan Cranston starring in The Infiltrator, and we also have the latest Woody Allen movie, Cafe Society. So 3 films to take a look at next time around. We'll take a look at those films coming up tomorrow on the show, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honors of hitting that like button, the subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the previous episode we did. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.